Big Boy's
Ooh, big
neighborhood,
boy.
beautiful day in the
Oh my
neighborhood,
gosh,
man.
yes.
We don't get a lot of guests in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the world is different.
Absolutely.
And we get a lot of, at one point we were doing Zooms and so on and so forth. But it's good to have this person back in the neighborhood, man,
Yes.
sitting in front of us.
Good to
And
be
that's
back.
Cordae. Cordae, welcome back to the neighborhood,
Hey,
bro.
appreciate y'all having me, man. Honored to be here.
Man, do you
Yes.
want to bring on my star like how we were talking about it in the hallway?
Oh, is
yeah,
that what
yeah.
you
Just
we
bring it up like
speaking
I didn't tell you
that.
about it,
yeah,
man.
for sure, man. That's nothing to just brush off. That is a true monument, man. That's a
Yeah.
monumental thing, bro.
Yeah, it
so
is,
you
man.
you deserve it, bro. You stamped
Yeah.
in history forever. And I was
Yeah.
just telling you, I was just watching Longest Yard
Yeah, man.
yesterday,
Oh, you
and I
know
didn't
my work.
realize he had a cameo in it.
Oh, you know all
But,
my work,
bro,
man.
you in like so many like dope videos, like the Bow Wow Fabulous
Yeah,
basketball
man.
joint.
Yeah, that's what I told
like,
you, man. I was a video vixen back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to
Check you
find
out.
myself.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? You got to find yourself.
Your price
man.
went up, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all.
yeah.
That's all
Today's
it was.
price. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Exactly.
yesterday's
Word
price.
to Fat Joe, for
Easy
sure.
call, man. Now we got a new album, A Bird's Eye View.
Mm-hmm.
Why the title? It seems simplistic,
Mm-hmm.
but why the title?
From a bird's eye view, it's a double meaning behind it. It's a multi-perspective album. So I'm speaking from things that I've seen, things that I've gone through, things that I've witnessed, and I'm bringing you into this world, from a bird's eye view. And the other meaning behind it is to see things from a zoomed out lens, to see
Right.
things from outside of yourself. Because I feel as though a lot of times, man, we all kind of have main character syndrome in a way, myself included. And sometimes you have to see things from other people's perspective
Right.
or just zoomed out,
Does that get harder the more popular you get? You know what I'm saying? Like usually when you're trying to get somewhere, you'll take the listens, you'll listen to other people, you'll see the other perspectives.
Not me
Yeah.
as much when I was coming up. I think I was even more, and my bad if I cut you
No,
off,
no
I
worries.
apologize. But it's a balance because you got to have a lot of self-confidence and belief within yourself, but also you just can't be non-aware and just not empathetic to what somebody else may feel. Like a lot of times when making this album, I was extremely like self-reflective, self-critical. And I was calling people, apologizing for stuff I did like months before because I was seeing things from their perspective, from a zoomed out lens. And it kind of took a lot of me just being honest with myself to realize that. And again, like I'm far from perfect still. I still
Right.
be messing up a lot, man. Like I
What
ain't gonna.
was the reaction when you get this call, Cordae? Oh, Cordae is calling me. Oh, he called to apologize.
Some people was like, man, I wasn't even. It's not even that deep.
Yeah. You
I
got to
wasn't
bring them
even
back to
thinking
like,
about
wait,
it.
when was that? When was that? Like,
Yeah, for sure. They was like, man, I don't even remember that. But dang, just like acknowledgement. It was just like, I just appreciate you even thinking about me to that extent.
How much growth goes into a bird's eye view? Because, like even sitting here now, the times that we've been in the neighborhood, the times that I've seen you out, not only have you seen a maturity, like you wasn't coming in here kicking over stuff, but even just the way, you carry yourself or there's a maturity that comes with it. When you come into an album like, Bird's Eye View, are you working different than what it was before?
Yeah. It's from a bird's eye view, by the way.
From?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, my bad. So what was I say all that to say? When creating this album, man, a lot of this I made during, the pandemic, during the quarantine era.
Yeah.
And like I said, it allowed me to be a lot more reminiscent, a lot more having feelings of nostalgia. And every single song, more self-reflective, but every single song, there's a direct life event that caused an emotion that directly transmuted into the music. And that's for every single song. Like John Michelle, that was like 2 days after the shutdown happened. And I was in the studio watching I Am Legend.
Right.
With the same day where they was like, you can't go outside no more. Everything is shut
And you're
down.
like, "Lord, here
and I'm
we
in
are."
the studio and I Am Legend comes on.
no.
I don't know if that was curated by TNT or what it was, but I was just, that's why the chords are so dark and it feels like hopeless and anguish because that's what I was feeling at the time.
That's the moment.
For sure, Mama's Hood, I wrote that the day after one of my friends from high school had gotten killed. And I say that to say every single song, man, I can tell you what I was doing that day, what had transpired early in the day, what are the events that happened that week, that occurred that week that really transmuted into the music. So that's really what it is.
How do you know when you're done?
When I got the outro.
Really?
So when I have the outro, I'm like, okay, I know how I'm finna start and I know how I'm gonna finish this thing. So how do I piece it together?
Why would this start with Shiloh so important?
Because that's my younger brother and he's in prison, and I felt like I wanted to give a light, showcase a light on his talent, because also from a bird's eye view is speaking from his perspective as well. And I feel like I talk to him like all the time, as much as I possibly can, and I feel guilty whenever I'm talking to him and complaining about the things I'm going through. Like I have to check myself, like what in the I sound crazy,
Yeah.
He's in maximum security in there for 24. Like what I look like complaining about anything. And he was rapping, we was coming up rapping together, and he was popping before I was locally. So I just felt as though it was very important, and it just matched the album perfectly.
Is this more personal to you than Last Works?
I would say so, yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Right. Yeah, and you not that you can feel it, because that sounds like such a cliche, but you can feel it.
Thank
And
you.
you can see where do you get in a position, Cordae, where we know a catalog, and then you start to get to where you become a competition with yourself, or you feel like you become a little gun shy, like you expect too much, or are you thinking too hard now when you record? Is it a different process?
It is a slightly, because like when you first come in the game, it's just like you're a virgin almost.
Yeah.
It's just like you go with your gut intuition and react emotionally and act upon that hunch immediately, which is great, which is dope. But then when you get success, you get money, and
Yeah.
you have a little bit more to lose, so you start to put a little bit more thought into your moves before you do it, which is necessary in order to elevate and to become more calculated. But it's still a balance with going with your heart and going with that gut feeling. Not to sound cliche, but it's just the truth, honestly. Going with those hunches and having the discipline to act upon it immediately, but still putting a tiny bit of thought into it versus getting into the over-analysis, paralysis
Right.
sort of thing.
Do you put more pressure on yourself when it comes to your music, like from a bird's eye view?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because I was just like, man, it just has to be elevation. That's why I took a little bit in between the music, because I just always have to challenge myself to become a better artist musically, in all facets of it. And I got to become a better person and evolve as a human being in order for
Right.
it to reflect in the music, and like, again, I'm far from perfect, man. I still mess up a lot, and I'm just on this path of just continuing to get better,
When you say, like, in paraphrasing, a break between the music, of course, life happens.
For
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? Personal situations with Granny, relationships, COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like when we so-called had that time to sit down, what did you do during the sit down time? Did you create more, or did you wander and adventure a little more?
A combination of both. I started off just straight in creation mode, and it allowed me, like I said, a lot of time to think. This is the first time.
Do you think too much?
It's a balance, right?
Right.
So it's truly a balance. For going back to that word balance, right? Not to overuse it, but it's really a thing. So it allowed me the time to just think about where I'm at in life and what do I want out of this thing we call life. What do I want out of my legacy as an artist? Because my elevation has just been continuance, but I just been working nonstop since I came into the game, just tours and making music. I never had time to just sit and think, okay, what do I want my legacy to really be, and how do I plan on mapping that out and drawing up this blueprint on how I want my life and career to be. So it allowed me time to think about that, which is where I came up, the concept of high level, because it's a frame of mind that I have to hold myself to. And just think, and business wise as well, it allowed me time to get into stocks and bonds, get into real estate, diversify the money.
Cordae, how old are you?
I'm 24.
75, right?
mercy.
No, yeah. Wisdom of a man who's been around for so long.
Nah, I appreciate that. And I got a lot more time to read. Like, I haven't read on my own, like, leisure since I was a little kid.
Right.
So literally I was a child. So I was reading a bunch of, a lot of history books like Kwame Nkrumah, and reading him inspired me to go to Ghana, as well as looking at Dave Chappelle.
How
He
long were
inspired
you
me
in
as-
Ghana?
A couple weeks.
What did you do in Ghana?
I went to the Cape Coast Slave Castle. I was just living out there to be.
Right.
It's something.
Why did you go?
It was just something that was just calling my spirit. And going back to just going with your hunches, man, and acting upon it immediately. And also, I noticed every great artist, whatever path they're on, whether like a Dave Chappelle within his art of comedian and entertaining, Nina Simone, even Kendrick, I seen like he went to not Ghana, but Africa. But I noticed a lot of my favorite artists, when creating music, goes there, and not even music, but just pieces of art, or just some point in their lifetime went to Africa. And that was something I noticed after I went, but it was just my own hunch and intuition and gut feeling that was telling me to go. And then after the fact, I was kind of noticing, like, out of my, like a Nina Simone, like powerful people was doing that on their own leisure. And yeah, so I say all this to say, like, during that free time, because it's about going back. I keep saying it's a balance. My bad.
But it's a real word.
It's a real word. So at first, I'm just knocking out songs every day. I'm drawing up all different type of ideas and business plans, talking to different people to see how I can maneuver in certain things. And I got this, you know how like Walt Disney, he has this thing that he drew up about how he wanted Disneyland, Pixar, TV, and film. So I did like my own version of that, of how I wanted high level to be, and my music and my legacy to be. And just creating a bunch of music, but then I had to go live life. You know, I got to go to the club. I got to go back home to the hood every now and then and just get them vibes, that energy. I had to go to, Africa for a minute. I went to like Paris and London and New York, just living life so I could have something new to talk about. Because, that alone time when you're by yourself is when I'm most productive, when I'm most honest, the most self-reflective. But when you're alone, that's when you got an idle mind, and that's like the devil's playground. That's when you start overthinking, you start questioning yourself. So
killing things on the vine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's.
Do you feel like from a bird's eye view, you peeled off more layers for us too, or for yourself, not for us?
Yeah, I would definitely say that for sure. Just getting into the deeper meaning of things and just finding things out, man. Like as an adult, like one for me is about, the duality of man and woman. Westlake High. I went to go visit my old school, and that directly inspired that song. Every single song had like Coach Carter, C. Carter now.
Yeah. Be
C.
careful.
Carter, right? I wrote that because I remember my uncle always had like a Dodge Charger with the suicide doors and the big rims, and this is like the 05, 06 era where everybody was pimping out like the Chrysler 300s, and you know what I'm saying, putting like ridiculous size rims on their cars. But I love that shit, and so every song has a direct memory attached to it, in which I was inspired to make it. Like Champagne Glasses, I wrote that when I was on the road, and I was just like, man, I'm like the only person on this bus who's not happy right now,
How so?
Because I was just going through the motions, man. I was just like on autopilot, doing the show, doing meet and greets,
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a celebration for everybody else, but myself.
Now, are you on the bus with like your people, like
my
like
people,
your buddies?
Yeah, for sure, my people. And I wrote that song. I forgot what town, but it was probably like somewhere mad random, and like I think it was somewhere in like a middle America. And but I say all that to say every single song has like, I can tell you where I was, what had went on that week, what I was going through in my mind, what emotions I transmuted into the music, and that's why this album is more special to me, honestly.
And speaking of the album, bro, when we talk about the album, you're very meticulous or very peculiar about who you do collabs with. It appears, how that it seems like there's some people, they just need that name, they just need to get down, you know what I'm saying? How do you pick and choose who you collab with? And are you a man, Gunna's on this one, I think M can flip on this, I think I hear her on here?
Yeah, literally, man. Every collab, every song that has a feature, as soon as I made that song, I was like, I want this person on it. As soon as I made Today, I was like, I know Gunna's vocal tone is going to excel on this beat. And me and Gunna, it just happened naturally. Me and Gunna was kicking it in Australia and New Zealand because we was both doing like a festival run. So we was just kicking it for like a week straight, couple weeks straight, and he's like a really good guy, man. Yeah. I really truly consider Gunna like one of my closest friends within the entertainment
and congratulations
space.
On his release, too.
Yeah, man. I love his last album, that DS4. I was looking forward. I love DS3, and so I was looking forward to DS4. So big shout out to Gunna. And so I say that to say, like, it all came about in a natural way. Like, her is like a very close friend of mine. Lil Durk been supporting me like behind the scenes like the last couple of years. Like, we've been locked in. But
I like the balance that you have on there as
thank
well.
You.
And I think too, Cordae, that's us. That's life. You know, one day you feel a certain way, the next moment is another way. And I think that even the way that the album is synchronous, if that's the way that I got it as well, but the balance of the people, and here we go back to balance, but the balance of the people that you use.
I try not to use. I was about to say balance earlier. That's why I was like stumbling, because I was like, but it's good. It's good.
But just the way the people that you did collaborate with. You know, that's life. Like when you think about Gunna, that's one way. When you think about Dirk, that's another. Then when you hear the beautiful voice of her, you know what I'm saying? Then you think Stevie Wonder. You know what I'm saying? Like just that's us. That's life, and that's the way that you live your life, and that's the way that music is supposed to feel as well. You know, it's supposed to evoke different kind of emotions, and I think you really came with a great album, bro.
Nah, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Y'all, can you ring the bell?
Hello,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Man,
for real.
Are you motivated, like, and not by a bad way, but are you motivated by fear too?
Yeah, I have to be, man. And that's also where when your mind is too idle, that's where fear comes from. And but you know what? What I just learned, somebody said this to me the other day. I forgot her name. It was this random lady, and she was like, "True faith is having no fear in the unknown." That's what faith. How it
sounds so easy though.
It's way easier than what it is in reality.
Yeah.
But my new word like this whole year is just gratitude, man. Like I start off every morning. I try to on most days to start my days and end my days with just gratitude. And when I speak on my gratitude and all my goals, like, the fear slowly starts to dissipate. And the more work that I put in and the more feelings I put into the music, because music is emotion-based, man. Right. All the best music is just pure emotion-based in song form. And so the more, like, dope music I make, the less fear I have.
Who did you not just grow up to, but you know how when people could come to you and they could tell you about a particular song or what you did for them? You know what I'm saying? But you grow up. Did you grow up around music?
Yeah, for sure. My favorite artists is a couple of them. Kanye West is probably like one of the biggest influences on me. Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, Nas.
But you Drake. Got like a different kind of hip hop backbone too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can hear it, you can see it, you can feel it.
Thank you.
You know, and some people do, and no disrespect to how people get down, but it's a money grab. I've had people that told me
it's
I
a
only
lick.
been rap. Yeah.
It's
You know
a
what I'm
lick.
saying?
It's a lick if you let it. If you look at it that way.
Even when you listen to your album from a bird's eye view, you can hear that you're a child of hip hop and you're a child of music. You know what I'm saying? And even the words that you use. You know what I'm saying? So when I listen to it, it's not like I haven't had an album in a minute that I wanted to listen to the words and the verses and what's coming next. And there's a few people that bring that out of you.
Thank you.
And now you don't get a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the old dude in the room because I listen to everything.
Nah, for sure.
But there's time like when I had your album, I wanted to hear what you were not just saying next on the next song. You know how when you hear somebody, you like, what's the next verse? You wanted to keep going. So you get that kind of energy when you make music. So that's why I was asking what was your kind of your inspirations, or did you grow up? And when you bring up the Nas and the people of the world, like I can see that what tree you're next to.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Without those names I list, like I said, the Kanyes, the Kendricks, like there is no me, like for real. So it's always like eternal gratefulness for those that have inspired me musically and just in general, but still creating your own path as well.
How did you start off? Because at one point you're listening to music. When do you start saying, I can write something?
You know what? As a kid, I realized I idolized the lifestyle of a rapper.
Oh, really?
For real.
Yeah.
Like when I was like 4 or 5, like a super young kid. When I was like 4 or 5, I used to have a little do-rag, a little chain on.
Right.
And man, my folks lost the recordings, but like I would just be talking, just like, can I curse?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was just talking
right here,
like
you can.
hot shit, and
at 4 and 5?
At 4 and 5, just popping shit. And but I idolize, like I said, I used to like get the little gumball tattoos and get it all. You feel me? And the music was the soundtrack to my life. And so eventually, when I turned like 5 or 6, I started like writing down my own raps. And then when I was 10, that's when I started taking it like. I started writing raps like more often. That's when it's like, okay, if you ask me to rap on the spot, I got some bars for you.
Really? At 10?
At 10. That's when I got
Have you read Outliers? Man, make sure add outliers to your readings.
I will.
Not just the 10,000 hours, because a lot of people go to the 10,000 hours, and also like how people were born with the Steve Jobs and the Elon Musk people of the world. But at 5 writing, and then knowing if somebody put you on a spot at 10, there's like a destiny
for sure
for what you were gonna do.
Nah, definitely.
Did you have any other jobs before rap? Before music made money?
Yeah, I had a bunch of jobs.
Yeah.
I worked at Old Navy before. I worked at TGI Fridays.
Did you ever tell people what you were doing and what you were going to be one day?
Never. Because I was just, you got to keep your dreams to yourself sometimes. I was like, I'm going to just show y'all. Like, y'all going to see. It was what I thinking. But I dropped like my first mixtape when I was 15. I dropped like my second one when I was like around 17, 18 or whatever. And I remember everybody at my job was like, they all heard the music, but I didn't tell anybody about it because like I just wanted to separate my work and then my personal life, and because music was personal for me, you know. So I was like, if you find out about it, you find out, but I'm not gonna be.
But you
like,
want to just bang it down doors,
handing out my mixtapes and
putting on the intercom.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't doing that, but everybody was like, yo, like you're actually dope, bro. Like, why didn't you tell us like you make music? I'm like, what I look like, coming to y'all this way, but I just like to keep my dreams like personal. You know how you may have like something really dope cooking up but you don't want to overshare it before it happens, or because you don't want somebody's negativity to
and people
influence
count your failures too, bro.
For sure.
People count your failures, man. Even when my growing up, I try to do everything, and you get people that say, man, I thought you would have an album out by now. I thought you would have such and such. So yeah, and you throw everything up against the wall and what sticks. And it's easier to go ahead and do your own thing than to continuously tell people what you doing.
For sure. I'd rather under-promise and over-deliver than the opposite.
I hear you. Damn. Write that down for me. I'm going to say it like you didn't say it to me.
It's all good.
I'm going to be like, man, a wise man once told me. Cordae, what was your relationship with Juice WRLD?
Man, that was really my brother, and I'm not really one to over exaggerate relationships. Like if you ask me about people, I'll be like, man, I'm cool with dude, but not but this is like my brother. Like my first time ever touring was on a tour with Juice WRLD. Like this is my first time ever hitting the road. I was opening up for Juice WRLD, and he was so dope, man, and so kind that like I was on his tour bus. It wasn't like you know how I didn't realize until I went on other tours like how rare it is for like a headliner to have like one of his opening acts like on his tour bus.
Yeah.
That's like that never happens. It was me, my homie Taylor, shout out my boy Tay, and my DJ. It was us three. We're on his bus because at that point in time I really couldn't afford my own tour bus. And so he just opened. They was just, in order to save, budget. They was like, he was like, yo, you can just stay on my bus, like, and that was everything. And so that's just one example. But man, this is really like my brother. We would often have talks like all the time, just about God and the world. Or I just pull up on bro. We just kick it, man, and watch like anime or play Naruto games or Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff. He was himself unapologetically, man.
The documentary, you can tell when y'all saw each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when y'all saw each other at the festival on the stage, you could tell that it wasn't like the first handshake. Like there was some kind of history there, man.
For sure.
And not having the relationship that you had with Juice WRLD, but just the times that I was with him, that's a dude, man, where his talent was unbelievable, bro.
For sure.
And I mean, man, I've had everybody in here.
For sure.
And I'm a child of hip hop, homie. Like I done seen everybody freestyle, so on and so forth, bro. And when he sat in that same seat on that same mic and went for it, right? I had to ask, was that freestyle? Because I hadn't seen the backstory of how many times he did it or how comfortable he was. That was like my first interaction with him.
Man, you know what's funny, man? When we on this tour bus, every time we'll see each other, we just start freestyling, like off real. It'll be like a month or however long it be. We see each other, what up, bro? And we just start rapping, going at it. When we was on a tour bus, we would freestyle from like L.A. to Milwaukee. And I gotta say, I would never tell him this, man, because I would never tell him this while he was here. But that was the only dude I ever met in my whole life that was better than me, just straight off the dome, and who could go for longer. Yeah. Like, he can go for hours. I'll be like, bro, we been freestyling already for 4 hours. You still trying to rap, bro? Like, Man, I'm gone. You know, like for real.
Hey, man, where were you at when you heard the news that Juice World passed?
Man, I was on the flight back from Dubai. I had a show and it's funny. So he died. I think it was December 8th, December 7th, or December 8th to be exact. I remember, and I was just texting him for Thanksgiving because like that's how our relationship was. Like, yo, my Duke's good. Happy Thanksgiving, blah, blah, blah. And I was gonna come back to LA because I always pull up to his crib, you know, just not even on no music. We only got one song together.
Yeah.
All the times we kicked it, hundreds of times, we only did one song together because it wasn't about
a million freestyles.
a million freestyles for sure. And so I was on the flight back from Dubai because I had a show out there, and I just got off the plane, and I got the news. People just text me like, "Yo, I'm sorry." I'm like, "What in the world?" And I go on Twitter. I'm just like,
yeah,
wow, bro. Like I was like, man, I had to shed a tear for that. Like seriously, I was distraught by that because that just caught me off guard. Because you never think like, especially we the same age, you know. I done lost so many peers, man, since I've been in the music. I only been in the game for 2 years. I done lost so many people that like I've been on the come up with, on the grind with, and you know I wasn't really close with so many others like how I was with Juice, but it's still like just heartbreaking, man, because that's like you losing coworkers, you know, within y'all building.
And coworkers you love though.
That you got a lot of love for sure. So man, it's terrible, man. Like I was really distraught by that.
Have you seen the documentary or you can't watch it?
I actually went to the documentary release thing. But yeah, I watched a good amount of it. I didn't finish the whole thing. It's pretty long to be honest, but yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing.
Plus, you got real moments too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
you got real moments, man, and you could build a 10 documentaries in your head as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I can tell just by how you speaking about them, bro, that it wasn't posthumous. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you love people and you say, man, I say this in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I felt this and said this when he was here.
For sure. Nah, it's it's funny. It's literally an Instagram live of us two just talking. Somebody sent it to me just literally a couple days ago. We on IG Live, random, just talking and just like I really got to tell him like how much like, and I will always tell him this in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, love you, bro, whatever. But I got to tell him like on live, funny enough, like in front of the world, like and vice versa. And it was just like us just showing love and appreciation for like the real like friendship we had, you know. And man, I miss that dude, bro. What
do you take from that, or what do you learn from that?
I don't know, honestly. Right. I don't know. Like,
yeah, and my thing, and the reason why I did ask that, man, because you know, just growing up, you know, you do lose people, and you know, even family. The first real family member I lost was my mom. So there's just certain things that you take from
that, by the way.
Man, I'm sorry I say it. Yeah. And it's just things. But the reason why I ask is because there's things that you learn, and it's not about how. Yeah. But it's like, man, I do have to tell people I love them.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I do have to work smarter and work harder. I do have to take care of my mom. I do have to return this text. I do have to take this picture with this fan.
You just never know.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
I
you
was
never
on
know
Wildin' Out with Biz Marquee like a couple weeks before he passed. Like it was.
Yeah, man.
But that's so important, like you said, to just like let people know, man, what they mean to you while they're here for real.
You never know.
Right, Cordae, there was a time around 2018 you said, I want to be the biggest, most influential artist. That's my ultimate goal. And you also mentioned wanting to win an EGOT or win, get the EGOT.
Yep.
Are those some of your same goals, or where a few years later, what are the new goals?
Yeah, I'm pretty shallow, to be honest. Right. But yeah, for sure, man. Like as much as people like to say, like, oh, the Grammys don't matter. I feel like people only say that after they like win a bunch of them.
Right.
Like, of course it don't matter to you.
Right.
You won. You won hell already.
Yeah, don't tell me that.
For sure. But coming up and on the grind is definitely something that everybody aspires to get. Like I said, the Oscars, the Tonys, the Grammys. Now, those things will never define who you are as an artist and as a person. Like, you still, bro, if you're within the entertainment space and doing this professionally at a high level, you winning regardless.
Right.
An award, a billboard, and that can't define that. You already won. But for sure, I want the EGOT. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's crazy when I hear people say it doesn't matter. And that's not what you work for. I don't think you went in to do from a bird's eye view and say, man, every song, I got to make sure I get this Grammy.
For sure.
You know, but when you do get the accolades or acknowledged, it's like, okay, I can take that. You
Hey,
know?
you took that star.
Hell yeah, I don't run from the love.
You wasn't like, man, that star don't matter. Like,
Man.
no, you took that.
Hey man, I remember I saw DJ Quick one night, right? And
Mhm.
Quick was like, "Hey, big," but he asked me a real question. He said, "Why did you cry like that?" And I was like, "Bro, I was homeless, man. I walked down Hollywood Boulevard as a homeless kid."
Dude, but like,
Do you get
man.
a chance to kind of inhale and exhale and see how much you've accomplished already?
I've just started doing that.
Right.
Before it was just like tunnel vision, like, okay.
Yeah, and you said
what's
you were
next?
doing it down there Groundhog's Day anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, what's next? Okay, we did this, like, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. But it's a balance between not getting, again, a balance, right?
Right,
Between
right.
not getting complacent, you know, not soaking in the moment too much and not, you know,
Right,
what I'm saying,
right, yeah,
feeling
feeling-
yourself
yeah,
too much,
man.
but not acknowledging what you've done so far.
Yeah,
So just
don't
having
ignore it.
gratitude, man, like literally, like just being thankful for all it is. Like it was one point in time I would have killed to sit down with y'all and just have an interview like this, and I'm here. That's a thing for me. You
Does
know
it still mean the same to you though?
what, sitting down with y'all
Yeah,
or just
the interview.
everything
Yeah.
in general?
No, just me. I don't,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
forget
yeah,
everything.
nah, for
Okay,
sure.
All right.
Y'all do interviews like that. Y'all rare. You know, y'all are high level.
But let me tell you
in
what's
y'all own
crazy about
space.
this, homie, is I've been doing radio for decades now,
Mhm.
right? But I still trip off of that I'm on your itinerary.
For sure.
Like I'm on your schedule where
Mhm.
you're saying like, oh man, I gotta go do Big Boy tomorrow.
I
that
asked,
trips me
you
out.
can ask Ace. I asked Ace. I was like, yo, we doing Big Boy, right?
But it
Aw.
trips
For
me
real.
out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not used to it where I'm like I know whatever time you went to sleep, you had to wake up, you had to get dressed, you had to get in the car because you had to come here.
For sure.
That's crazy to me.
Nah,
bro.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Got to come to you.
Not even come to me. Understand what I'm saying. I trip that I'm on your calendar.
Oh yeah, nah, for sure.
You know what I'm
that's,
saying?
Nah,
Like,
that's the dope thing.
And I pray to God, bro, that never goes away. You know what I'm saying? There's
Nah, that's
times,
dope.
Cordae, well, I hear myself on the radio, or I be sitting in here and I say, dude, this is me. Like, have you ever
Oh, you
had
got
a feeling?
picture with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Have you ever had a feeling like if you're at a festival and you're on the side of the stage and you're like, man, I'm about to walk out here and
For
do what I
sure.
love for these people?
I have it in moments like exactly. That's the biggest thing. Like, man, I really just did a show in front of X amount of people. Or even like headline shows, I think mean the most to me because festivals, I love festivals.
Right.
I really like festivals. But it's a very dope thing. But like a headline show, everybody came there to see you specifically.
That's the same thing I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, man, what? I gotta end every show. Like, man, because to go to a show, that's where you really know where you stand and where your impact is. Because people gotta physically buy a ticket on their.
Yeah.
It's an inconvenience. You gotta
Yeah.
leave your house.
they
and
want to go.
to see somebody do what I get to do what I love.
Yeah.
Perform live music that I made. That's how I make a living, and I make a pretty good
And
living off of it. Like
That's another
crazy.
thing, man. You made $7 million. I've heard that just when you were just kind of chilling. So.
Big boy, it take money to know money. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It take money to know money.
But it's also crazy that, like I say, the calendar, you're on their calendar. They knew what they were doing Thursday night. They knew what they were going to wear. They
For
knew, you know
sure.
what I'm saying? They organized transportation, tickets, who you going with, like
Yep.
those kind of things, man. And then when they get there, do you feel like it's important? And not all give them what they paid for, but do you feel like it's important? Like, man, these people came to see me.
Bro, this next tour, my next headline tour, I'm not even making any money because I'm putting
Back in.
my own pocket into the show. I'm bringing a live band with me. I'm spending a bunch of money on and I'm not doing arenas, by the way, you
Right,
know,
right.
and I'm spending a bunch of money on, you know, the technicals, making sure everything is dope, the music programming, the lighting and things, because I'm investing into myself, into my
Right.
live show, and even two, like, man, I want it to be an experience. You come to see a Cordae show, I want to have the best live show in music, you know, and
you know what I love about you too, bro? Is you hit your vocals.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank
like you give us what we paid for.
Thank you.
You
I
hit your
appreciate
vo-
that. That means a lot.
Can I
Yeah,
share a
that's my
moment?
thing. People spent their hard-earned money.
Yeah, man.
That's why it's still crazy to me. Like, yo, people work hard for their money, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
they spend it to come see me do what I love. Like,
You
it's
did-
eternal gratefulness.
You did our show, and I was telling Day Day before you came in, I was like, I love Cordae so much because not only do I love your music,
Thank you.
but you probably don't remember, but we bumped into each other backstage at the Real Fest show.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I finished watching you. You did so good. And you legit stopped, and you can see a genuineness in your face. And you looked at me, you said, are you sure it was good? It was okay, right? And I was like, wow, he cares about putting on a good show for his fans.
Nah, for
And I
sure.
could see it in his face, and I was like, I love him.
Yeah, man.
He's so good.
Oh,
Show.
go ahead now.
Oh, my bad.
No
Not
worries.
pressed. I just did this a couple days ago, but it's not on or off.
No,
Right?
you straight.
Okay,
You good.
cool. But now I'm a killer when it comes to these live shows. Like I'll be like, yo, is that good? Or if something like goes wrong, I start like punching holes in the walls, like, and people think it's like, oh, he got anger. It's just passion, man. Like I got a lot of passion. I'm really passionate about this music thing with the especially live performance, man. Like I really want to, or if I feel like even I didn't do my best, man, I'll like beat myself up about it. Like, I'll be mad.
And we
like,
probably didn't even notice it.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something that nobody know in the crowd didn't even notice but me. But I'll be in that backstage like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like super mad about it. So
But that's that
passion.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's what I
Passion.
would say. That's the passion for it, bro. And if you care that much about it, can you imagine the experience that we have bearing witness to it and making sure that you give us the best for whatever we paid or for whatever time? You know, we don't get a lot of that. You know,
sure.
some people just show up because they feel like, man, I got a hit record, and you should be honored that I'm here.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So when you see somebody, and also, man, when I would say, what award show did I see with you and I don't know if I was there or I saw it, but you and Anderson.
Oh,
And
my
Anderson
gosh.
is another live beast.
Oh yeah, no, he's a killer.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when y'all did R&P, that's like one of those things where it's two people that's 100% each,
Yeah.
not carrying each other. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Because Anderson's a beast as well,
Yeah,
man.
that was, I believe it was Jimmy Fallon. And
Was it?
Yeah, we did,
Okay,
I mean,
so
we
I
did a
wasn't
couple
there.
of award
Okay.
shows. We did a couple of award shows performing that song. But yeah, that was an experience. He's another killer. I mean,
Yeah,
he can
man.
play drums and things of that nature too.
Do you play
So-
any instruments?
Yeah, I play keys and a little bit of trumpet.
Really, at like weddings and stuff like that? Or-
No, not.
No?
I should though. That's another bag.
Yeah, you know,
That's another bag.
I don't think it's a big bag though. You know what I'm saying? It's not
It can
festival
be
grab.
for private events.
Oh,
You-
yeah.
You gotta think if Steve. I'm sure he doesn't do this, but like, how much you think Stevie Wonder would charge to play and sing at your wedding? A lot.
Yeah. When you finish with the album, man, do you get kind of nervous what the people are going to feel about it? Because now, back in the days, it was like Source Magazine, you wanted 5 mics, Double XL, you wanted praise. It was a few people that so-called matter with critics. Now everybody got this device,
Yeah.
and everybody's a critic.
For sure.
You know what I'm
Man, I
saying?
was just saying that. What happened to the real genuine music fans?
Right.
Everybody thinks they can do this because the entertainment and the music thing is so like open access because of like social media. Everybody think they can do it. I seen a fan, I forgot who album it was, and they was complaining like, yeah, man, this didn't sound, the mix wasn't good. Like, what do you know about a mix?
Your mix is good, too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Shout out
Yeah.
Ali, Manny Mariquin.
That was another thing I was going to tell you. Your mix is good, bro.
Thank you. I spend a lot of time. Ooh, I be spending a good amount of time
You
on the
can tell.
mixes. But a little bit of nervousness, but I have a lot of, if I'm putting it out into the world, my
know.
confidence is like through the roof about the music.
Do
And
you read any other comments or anything like that?
a little bit, but it's not healthy, honestly. Like
Right.
when I drop music now or whenever I got to post, my new thing is if I got to post something, because of contract wise, anything of that,
You
I'll
said
just
I heard the keyword "got"
for
if
sure.
I got to.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just post it, man, tweet about it,
Walk
and
away
delete the
from it.
app. And that's it. And I just use it for what I gotta do for it and then just get rid of it. Because it's like it'll let you get too high on the high horse and
Yeah.
you can't let it bring you down. So I say that to say, when I'm making music, man, by the time I release it to the world, especially an album,
You
a
giving them your
full-length
best.
album, I'm putting my best foot forward. But it is a tiny bit of nervousness because, man, I'm putting all my feelings, my
Right.
heart, my deepest soul and thoughts, and I'm being transparent and vulnerable, and I'm giving putting all of this energy, heart, and soul into this music for the masses to may or may not love. It's a scary ass concept, but like, man, I got enough faith and confidence, man. Like, I know people gonna rock with this joint.
Hey,
Are
man.
there people
Go ahead,
that
Liz.
are not like a producer that you're working with or someone you're collaborating with in your life that you will play your music for and you want their genuine opinion?
Oh yeah, very few people because the more I respect your opinion, the more I can't listen to it because I'll put it over my own opinion.
Oh yeah.
If
I
that
hear
makes
you. No,
sense.
that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Like, bro just said, and I'll be doing myself and the world a disservice if I put somebody else's above mine. It's obviously a case by case basis, right?
Yeah.
And I put a lot of thought into it. But so before I dropped this album, actually, I did this thing. I went into like I want to say like 12 to 15 colleges, and I pressed play on the college kids. Like, I mean, I'm still a college kid age, right?
Yeah.
I pressed play on them, and I played down from beginning to end to get real.
Were
people.
you in the room?
Yeah, but I when I started playing that, I started off like just talking to them, not about the music, but just about life things, you know, just to be a light and give whatever information I have to pass it on. And then I will end it off with just playing the album, but I'll leave the room and I'll come back like around the last song, or I'll just be like somewhere in the back to where they couldn't see me so they can just focus on the music. And it'll just end in like straight applauses, and they'll all tell me like, yo, I love the whole album from top to bottom, or I really like this song is the one. But that's who matters the most. The
Is
people.
that scary though when you first press play? Cause you know, like you confident, you did your all, everything,
sure.
but you know, by college 12, you probably figured out a routine.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But yeah, the first couple, I was like, I wasn't nervous because if I'm playing it to the point of that, I done put a lot of time and effort into it.
Right.
I seen this one Kanye interview. It was like around right around 808s and Heartbreaks. He was like, man. And obviously, I'm not where Kanye was, where he made 808s and Heartbreaks, like success-wise. But he was like, man, I got so much confidence in the music that I make that if you don't like my music, you just got poor taste.
Right.
And I felt that so much. Like, for real, I felt that.
Hey, man, what's crazy about you saying Kanye, because Kanye, he would play a lot of music for me, right? And when I listen to music, Cordae, I listen with my eyes closed.
Yeah, that's the way that's the same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
And then, you know, I'll close my eyes and I'll listen. And then probably between a song or whatever, I open up my eyes and Kanye would be like this. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
staring at you?
Yeah. And not all the time, but he would look like for your vibe.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But when he would press play, there's still a vulnerability there.
Yeah,
you can
for sure.
say anything. But this is like, bro, I've been putting this together.
Yeah.
I put everything into this, and then here it is. And that's not
what
just
it
with
is.
the people you press and play with.
That's
the
world.
Dwights of the world.
Uh-huh.
You like, man, I gave you everything. Now it's your turn.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nah, it's like it's really an infant, man. These albums are all like my kids. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm giving you everything.
I'm giving you my family.
For sure, my seed. And what are y'all to the world? What are y'all gonna do with it? So it's a balance.
How do you work on what I call enoughs, man? And enoughs is, you know, you got to be hip hop enough, street enough, boardroom enough, you know, relationship enough. Like, how do you work on all your enoughs? And not that it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't have enough. I don't have to. But there's got to be some enoughs that you got to deal with as Cordae. Son enough. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, not really.
Really?
Like, I just live, man. I'm just a vessel, and not to be the type of guy that uses the word vessel, right? But it's the truth, man. Like, I'm just a vessel. I'm just here existing, you know, and I just try to move and not try to think too deep about everything, because I do naturally overthink about everything.
I was about to say, dude, it seems like you think about everything.
Nah, I do. So I've been trying lately to just exist, man.
Are you a New Year's resolution kind of person?
A little bit, but I'm more of I'm goal oriented. So I do this like before the new year even start. I start writing down like what I want to achieve, the things I want to get better at, how to form better habits, break bad habits, and just become a little more organized. So yeah, I am, because at the beginning of every year, I usually write down a bunch of goals, like make a vision board or something like that.
Can you look at last year's writings? And did you do a lot or most of what you wrote down year prior?
I gotta look. My vision board, I've done every single thing on that thing. The vision board I made like 2 years ago, I've done every single thing, met every person that I wanted to meet on that vision board, everything.
Who was on there?
I put Jay-Z on there. I wanted to meet him. I made this vision board at the beginning of 2018. I put like different countries that I wanted to visit.
And you did it all?
Yeah, did it like certain amount of money I wanted to make. Like,
hey man, is it crazy that you could be a fan of someone and then now they know your material?
It's unbelievable. That's one of the best things about this thing, to be recognized not only by the world but by your peers and people, and even more than that, by your idols. You know, and I think that's a blessing out of all of this, for real.
And the things they say about you too, bro, when you're not in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, character is what's being said about you when you're not in the room.
For sure.
And not just character. I've never heard anyone speak dirt on your name.
Oh, okay.
But also just when it comes to what the craft is, like, and when you say the Jay-Z's of the world, those are people that understand the craft.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And you're doing right by the craft.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And you could tell that you put a lot of time into what you do.
For sure.
You know, you were talking about the way you're going to do your tour, you know, coming out the pocket, and you want it to be an experience. Are you touring? We're early in the year, but you got a tour this year?
Yeah, I start February 3rd. I start the tour like a couple weeks after the album.
You ain't playing?
Yeah, I'm not playing. And you know what's funny, man? I'm hungrier than ever. I know my album just came out, but like I'm already working on this next one. Like I'm hungry. Creating this album and doing everything in connection with this album like really increased my hunger level. Like for
do you write the songs, or you feel like the songs write themselves sometimes?
Not to be like a super artist and eclectic.
Be a super
and all
artist.
that. I am, but I gotta live my truth, man. So I gotta stop saying not to be that guy, because I am a guy who used the word vessel. But for real, like straight up,
like big, I do use vessel.
I do use that, but man, the music write itself, man. Like straight up, like every single song. Like I said, I can think of all the songs that actually made this album is the direct link in memory in a life event that straight up wrote the song within itself. Every single song on the album, and so the music writes itself. All my best music writes itself, for sure.
Hey man,
it's a feeling.
And you took off some weight, right? How much did you really lose?
I lost like 35 pounds.
It's crazy because I didn't see 35 pounds that you had to lose.
Yeah, the world, I hit it pretty greatly. That was like.
Why did you lose the weight?
Because I had to do a GQ cover, and I was like, not to sound, but I'm just speaking my truth. But I was like, yo,
didn't say diabetes.
He
was
no,
I saw a documentary.
For sure, I had to do a GQ cover, and I was like, man, if I don't get in shape to do a GQ cover, whatever in life is going to motivate you to get in shape.
Gold. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and then it just became a lifestyle.
Really though? How long has it been?
That was like November 2020.
You know what I love
about it?
But I lost
majority of the weight like the first like 6 to 8 months.
Like when you would put the side-by-side picture together, that's when you could see like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, do you feel a difference in your everyday?
Yeah, look, I feel more confident. Like when you look good, man. Like I said, I'm a little shallow, man.
Right.
When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, they pay good. You know, that's why. Yeah, it's important to feel good.
Hey, man, with being around music for so long, like loving it at 5, you know, putting fake tattoos on yourself, knowing that you could do something at 10, and we do know the YBN, you know what I'm saying? Were there ever, because it seemed like it's been a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know, like you've been doing this longer, for more than half of your life now.
For sure.
So were there other groups before YBN?
Yeah, I was in this group called, I think it was Nage, New Age Golden Era. And you know, everybody formed groups with their homies. There's this joint called Time. Like time is money every day. That just
so y'all had nothing but acronyms in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine if you were still from Nage?
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
Is it different from the Nage and the Time and the YBN to being Cordae, like solo? Is it different moving as a solo artist?
No, because one, like with Time and Nage, I was like a kid. I'm like 12 years old amongst these things, and both of those were very short lived. Those was like a 2-week thing.
Right.
we broke up very prematurely.
Hey man, the dudes
like
from
2
Nage
weeks.
right now was like, man, he was talking about us, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. But they're gonna be on Vlad TV. Like, man, he changed up on us. I'm like, nigga, we was 12.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Man, as soon as we got to 8th grade, changed.
Yeah, exactly. And I say that to say,
with YBN, you get there. That's more serious.
Yeah, exactly. But all of these things have always been collectives, like a collective of individuals. So it wasn't like we were ever like the Beatles.
Right.
You know, groups like that. It was always like a collective of individuals. And like Cordae is my real name. That's like, I'm not very creative when it came to like my artist name. I was just like,
I don't know. Nage was pretty damn dope. You know,
I didn't come up with that name. And Right? That is a good name. I
Hey,
wonder
man.
if they trademarked that. No, I'm joking. But I say that to say, High Level is a pretty good name.
Right.
But Cordae's like my government name, so I've just always been myself unapologetically. Because who can be you better than you?
Did you have any other? Well, I know Entendre.
Yeah, that was a terrible name. That was a terrible name.
But it wasn't terrible when you said Entendre.
Yeah, because it was pronounced Entendre.
Entendre, yeah.
That's the first thing. Nobody can enunciate
Entendre,
it.
yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah, for sure. Because I just thought I had the sickest.
Hey, man, and I knew that, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to edit that out.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all the magic show business, baby. But one, it's just not everybody was still calling me Cordae. Even when my rap name was Entendre, like everybody at my school and around me was just calling me Cordae because it's like way more catchy, way more memorable because I've never met another Cordae. But you know what? Other than Snoop Dogg's son.
Right.
Every time I'm with Snoop, he like, man, you the only other Cordae I met.
Hey,
then
man.
my son, he like, I know your daddy got that name from me.
How old were you when you met another Cordae?
I never met another Cordae.
So that was Dog's son.
That's it. That's the only Cordae I knew of.
I was 9. My real name is Kurt. I was 9 before I met another Kurt. You know what I'm saying? So I can't imagine with a name like Cordae.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now when you meet baby Cordae's, kid Cordae's, that's you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, man.
All day.
Like, because Beyonce, you if you name your kid Beyonce now, you
know
don't
who
fuck
it's
your
after.
kid up.
For sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, you messed your kid
You know
up.
what's funny?
Your ears?
No. Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. But my real name, actually,
like, okay.
you know how Beyonce's name has that, and she's a Virgo too, just like how I
Same
am.
here,
And
September
you're a
8th.
Virgo.
I'm
We all
September 8th. Yes, sir.
Virgos run Kobe Bryant.
Yes, sir. When's your birthday?
August 26th.
Go ahead now.
So we all Virgos. So I say that maybe it's me and Beyonce's Virgo connection, right? But my name has an apostrophe over the E as well, just like hers has like an apostrophe over somewhere. But I just never put it there.
Hers is like the second E. I think
Yeah,
it's towards
exactly.
the end.
Yeah, one of those.
Or is it
but
on the I'll look it up.
The second E? Like at the end of her name. So the Beyonce.
Yeah, it's Beyonce.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So-
on the second
and
E.
I never write it down. So I was kind of thinking, I'm like, should I like add that apostrophe like to my like artist name?
The
But
next album should be
Yeah.
called Cordae, but with the accento.
I think that might be doing too much because even like in school, my mom used
So
to
why did
always.
you bring it up?
Oh, but I don't know. It's just random. I'm just free flowing. We just having a conversation.
All
My
right.
bad. We just free flowing. But my mom used to always get mad, like, why don't you put the apostrophe over you? Anyway, fun random fact, but it's all good.
I heard that. Well, man, I see Dwight looking in the window.
Wait,
so only got 40 minutes
Can
left.
we fit
No,
in
go ahead.
one just real quick? What was your reaction when Eminem sent the verse to you?
Oh, it
Oh,
was dope, man. I was like, man, that's Eminem. That's still technically like the biggest rap artist of all
Yeah,
time,
man.
like most
I want
successful.
people to know that too.
For sure. I can't wait for the Super Bowl with him, Dr. Dre, Kendrick, and because I think Eminem is going to get like a newfound appreciation for him. Because I think like Gen Z is kind of like
Yeah, man.
hating on Eminem, like he ain't one of them ones, you know.
Yeah.
So I think the Super Bowl.
But that's crazy that you know that. You know what
For
I'm saying?
sure.
But that's what goes back to where I say you cut from a different cloth.
Nah, I appreciate that, and it's funny just how everything always revolves around. My first song that I put out professionally was My Name Is.
Yeah.
So it's always dope how
and that's what I was
things
about
come
to
a full
say.
circle.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy for you to do what My Name Is, and now you got Eminem that know who you are. And Eminem don't jump on everything.
For sure, though.
You know that's a smooth pick and choose,
Yeah.
bro. How did you get that?
We had a good phone conversation. We talked probably on the phone for like a good hour about a variety of different things, and he kind of ended it with just like, yo, like if we got to get some work in too. Like if you got some open verse, send it my way.
You was like, yes.
For sure. And
Yeah, I try to get that to you, Marshall.
Yeah, for sure. And it kind of took me a minute because I was just trying to find like the perfect record, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just send him out. It was like 6 months, and I started again. It was like maybe even longer than that, honestly. Like 8 months after we had talked, and he told me he would like hop on something. It might have been even longer than that, like 8 months to like 10 months after we had the convo. And I'm like, I'm in the studio one day, like, yo, I gotta get this M verse real quick, you know, like for real. And that's how. And Parables.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that, like that again, whenever I hear music, a certain beat, instrumentation, I know exactly whose vocal tone is going to match this beat perfectly. Like as soon as I made Chronicles, I was like, I'm gonna put Dirk and Lil Her on this. Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna put her and Lil Durk on this.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like as soon as I heard that, same with Parables, I'm like, okay, M's vocal tone, this is real like shady sort of vibes. I'm gonna put him on this.
You know what's crazy is when M say we gotta work together. the average person
Yeah,
would have sent that to him like that day.
for
Mhm.
sure.
Or the next day, like, man, it's on his head right now.
Yeah,
But being that you kind of, let the world rotate and you
Mhm.
know how what you want to hear,
yeah,
you wait 10 months.
yeah. It was a good minute, and I was like, yo, like, I gotta. What in the world am I doing? I had to catch myself because I was just trying to find like the perfect. I was trying to construct the perfect record, but
Mhm.
I was just like, I listened to Parables, and I was like, there it is.
Yeah,
as simple as that.
Y'all made a perfect one too,
Mhm.
bro.
Nah, thank you.
Trust that, man. How do you find all the balance of your time too, though? Like, how do you?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm figuring it out, honestly. Like, I just go day by day. But what I've started to develop now is a habit journal, and where you track the things you do every day. So I try to
Do
I
you
write
write
down
that
all
down
my
in
good
real
habits.
time?
Yeah, in real time. I have like a small habit journal. I start my day off by reading that, but I try to like finish the day at least knocking out these habits that I need to do as a human being, like reading. Even if it's like 20 pages, reading 20 pages. Okay,
Mm.
at least do 8 hours in the studio every day. Boom. Write down, my gratitude and say my dreams and goals. Boom.
Do you get a chance because you work a lot?
Yeah.
Do you get a chance to be by yourself or with your queen?
Yeah.
Where like, do you have a chance to separate Cordae the artist and
Yeah.
Cordae that just probably want to lay next to his girl, or Cordae that just want to sit and have ice cream? Do you give
Yeah.
yourself that kind of time?
Nah, I can't afford to right now. I do a little bit because I gotta live life still in order to make music. I gotta be just do things on my leisure and live like regular day-to-day, everyday life in order to make music about it, because I don't ever want to become relatable. I don't want y'all to get a whole album talking about I'm in the studio grinding, working every day. Nobody want to hear a whole album of that,
Right.
So I
So you
gotta
gotta
live
live.
life in order to reflect that in the music. But I just do. I'm a pretty spontaneous person, man. Like, I just like randomly, I'll just go somewhere. I'll be like, I want to just do this and do it. I'm a pretty spontaneous person.
Can you go out like and not bring Naomi in, but can you go out? Do you have date nights, or can you go out, or do you have to do you feel like people worry about your relationship too much?
I try to keep the personal
Yeah.
sacred, because it's truly like a personal thing, especially like everybody today love like relationships and want to project like relationship goals and all of these things. But like, nah, bro, like we ain't perfect. Build your own goals, And so I say that to say, like, I try to like definitely keep that on the super, super tuck. So when we move around, it's definitely like militant.
Hey man, let me ask you this though. Both of y'all professionals at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all were to switch, are you a better tennis player, or you think she's a better rapper?
Probably a better rapper.
Yeah.
It's a club sport, so it's very hard to get into.
Right.
Music, it's athletes that be making music all the time, You know what's funny? AB just dropped the single.
Yeah, he
and
did.
it's kind of hard.
Yeah, man.
Not even it's hard. Like, he said, I'm from the pit, not the palace. Lifestyle lavish. Like, shout out AB. I love that song. That's my boy too. But yeah, that joint is dope. It's some athletes that can spit, like Dame Lillard.
Yeah,
It's pretty nice.
Dame Dollar, you know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying?
Like, it's some nice. It's dope.
Hey man, but I wish you nothing but the best, bro.
Appreciate
You know
that.
what I'm
Thank you
saying?
so much.
And continue to protect your energy. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you, I
Continue to
will.
protect your energy, bro. And thank you for coming into the neighborhood. Thank you for sitting down.
Appreciate
Thank you
y'all.
for and coming in here.
Absolutely.
During
I was
the
like, man,
crazy
it gotta
work.
be in person. Like, the
Thank you,
Zoom
man.
interviews with like a big boy and with you guys, like, it ain't the same than
Thank you,
just
brother.
in-person energy. So I appreciate y'all.
And you
for
put
having
together
me
another
here.
great body of work, bro.
Thank you.
And it's easy for me to say it.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
Trust that.
That
And
means
that's
the
and
world
for me,
coming from
C
you.
Carter's the one right now. That's
Oh,
my
yeah.
repeat.
You know what? At one point in time, C. Carter was my favorite song too.
See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Believe that, man. Cordae in the neighborhood, big boys neighborhood.
Big boy.